Hello Sunrisers, this is a YouTube video for Strathcona Sunrisers. My name's Terry Nielsen. It's June 16th, 2012. We just had the installation dinner for the club and the new board last Wednesday, June 13th, 2012, and I thought I would do a little YouTube video, about 10 minutes long, for members that weren't able to attend the installation dinner and might want a little insight into the incoming presidential message that I delivered at the dinner. My role, of course, is not providing a vision for the club, but focusing the collective vision of the other members. The rest of the board that is taking on duties this year is past president, of course, will be Lynn Brandon, who just wrapped up a fantastic year, getting tons of things done with extra projects and extra collaboration with the other Rotary clubs, including Courtenay, Comox, and Cumberland. President-elect will be Pippa Atwood. In membership chair is Tom Gray. He's in charge of going through the process of getting new members in and keeping track of who's coming and who's going into the club. Club administration will be Richard Clark. He's new to the board. He is not new to Rotary at all. He has lots of experience in several high positions in Rotary, and he'll be looking after club administration, which is a bit of a social club part of things, picnics, keeping liaisoning between the hotel where we have our meetings, as well as the Rotary Moment. So he keeps the Rotary Moment delegated to people that can write and read. Public relations continues to be Keith Curry. He liaisons with the newspapers as well as our Facebook page and other PR grants that are available. He also will be working closely with the newsletter, Colleen Weir, who's doing the newsletter, Richard Skinner, who has lots of help in PR through the radio contacts that he has, as well as the website, which will be run by Bob Wells. Bob Wells is new, taking over for Michael Sire. So if you ever need anything posted on the website, our website, or if you want to know how to get yourself around the website, contact Bob Wells in the new year. There's another couple of weeks Michael Sire is doing it, but Michael Sire has moved up to secretary. So he's taking on a new role for the club, which is secretary, because Janice Thorburn, who's been doing it for a couple of years, would like a break, and it gets us some new people into the board. So thank you very much, Janice, and Michael Sire will be the new secretary, keeping track of a lot of the administration stuff and the rules of the road. Foundation, again, will be Ron Weir, who stepped up for another year. And this is key. Foundation is the engine of Rotary and the savings account. So that's where we get all our matching funds and matching grants. So we couldn't do a lot of our stuff internationally if we didn't have money to go to. This year will be a particularly tough year as we are in a 3-year cycle. So 2008 crash is now catching up to us. So there'll be less money to go around for international projects. And our club needs to keep up its commitment of sending money to the Rotary Foundation so that all over the world projects can be done, and that's where the money comes from. So you'll be hearing lots from Ron throughout the year, and he'll be doing things. Oh, also for bequesters and benefactors, if you want to leave money to the foundation, talk to Ron. Club service communities, a new person stepping into the board, a relatively new member. I think she's had a couple of years now. Susan Griffin will be looking after the community chair. She's taking over for Larry Redison, who's done it for a great job for many years, and that gives us some more new blood onto the board. And she'll be working hopefully closely with Larry as we look for opportunities around the community. We do lots of community stuff, and she'll keep keeping her eyes open for that, as well as managing our ongoing community things like bursaries to high schools and this sort of thing. Returning to the board is recent past president Wendy Lewis, who's taking over international chair, which is a position she had prior to her presidential cycle. She was president-elect, then president, then past president, and now she's back doing international chair. And treasurer back in the saddle is Jay Odolfson, and he manages all the beans and counts all the beans and looks after giving a financial report every month. a lot of these people show up at our board meeting every month, and you too are welcome to come and see how the whole thing works. And new members, you need to come to at least one board meeting in your first year. This is an announcement. We didn't have a Sergeant at Arms to announce on Wednesday night, but we have a Sergeant of Arms now. Sue Finneran has stepped up to the plate, and she will coordinate, if not do, the Sergeant of Arms. This year we might have more of a cycle of people actually holding the basket, might be different, and we might be doing more happy bucks and confession bucks and other bucks. A lot of this money goes into foundation, so its main goal is to keep the camaraderie going and during the meeting, but it also plays a key role in getting our foundation commitments up. So we also have a new position, relatively new position, second year I guess, for Tim Rabbit in the New Generations Chair, and this is a connection with all our youth exchange program and our Interact group at Highlands School, where we have about 30 or 40 students per year that get involved in humanitarian work that we support with Tim as our liaison for both, and quite demanding job, so we're great for him to be back. And our morning crew, of course, Al Berquist, Larry Renison, Colleen Weir, and Jackie Blocka will be doing our morning setup and greeting and all that. And that's a key role. First people you see in the morning. So I'll just give now, that's the board, and thank you very much everybody for stepping up. And I'll just read now a bit of the speech I gave on Wednesday so that you can know a little bit about me, a little bit about my vision, and of course, any comments you have, please give them back to me. I have Wednesday sort of arranged so I can stay after most meetings on Wednesday, so you don't need to wave me down or try too hard to get a hold of me. If you want to hang out after the meeting on Wednesdays, I should be around for, up to half an hour if need be. So I should be a really easy person to get in touch with, as well as email, of course. Okay, so I've been given the job of understanding the goals of the members of our club and those of Rotary worldwide. This year's Rotary International motto is Peace Through Service, so don't say you didn't know, Peace Through Service. We'll figure out a way of expressing this in the coming year. The fireside chat is coming up June 27th at Camp Gilwell off Duncan Bay Main Road, which is off Forbidden Plateau Road, at 6 p.m. So please come, all members welcome, and we'll be having the chairs discuss their ideas of what they want to do in the next year. And if they don't have ideas, we can give them ideas or add to the ideas they have. We've done lots of local stuff. You guys have heard the list. It's quite extensive. In fact, it's so extensive that you almost zone out after you get halfway through. Trails, parks, bridges, planted daffodils, clean stretches of highways. We installed floors and kitchen at the Children's Development Center. It's just shocking. Internationally, the list goes on and on and on. I want to do everything well, of course, this year, but Rotary is just way too big. I want our club to have a signature community project, one that we can look back and say that's what we did that year, as well as all our other little things, but I'd like to have a big one where we can get all our hands dirty together and really leave a legacy. And of course, we want to have another signature international project. We've got a couple in the pipe. We're doing a prosthetics camp in Chennai. This is an ongoing project that we've been doing for years and years. And we also have a vocational training exchange being planned. But those are just in the pipe. And of course, we have some other ideas for Mexico, which may come to fruition. Perhaps a hearing camp in India where we look after people's hearing aids. There's quite a bit in the pipeline. And of course, we have 2 students so far in Kenya that we are funding their education, everything from their uniforms to their tuition. That costs us about $700 each per student, and we're going to get up to a maximum of 4. We'll add 1 a year till we get up to 4, and then we'll maintain 4, and that'll cost about $2,800 a year. I met these students when I was in Kenya, and they're just fantastic. They're top of their class, and they're just so grateful. I gave them about $10, which is like a great year of pocket change, which is something that they always need. Our club is focusing a lot on youth and will continue to do, as evidenced by our new seat at the board. We created a New Generations chair so we could put that focus there. Rotary Sky Park, the Children's Development Center I mentioned already, Safe Teen, which is a bullying as well as teaching young 15-year-old girls how to deal with creepy guys. Really important stuff. We might even try to get a Rotaract club. Richard Clark will be looking into developing a Rotaract club at North Island College. And of course, our Interact Highlands School. The more members that want to get involved with that, the better. Those kids, they're hard to keep up with. Tim does his best. A lot of our horsepower for the fundraising and the volunteering falls to our senior members who show up in everything from aprons and tool belts. I'd like this year, and Tom Gray is totally on board, is making sure our new members, in fact all the board members have expressed we really want to make sure our new members feel integrated into the club. So if that means wearing ribbons saying I'm a new member, or a mentoring program that's formalized and happens, then that's what we'll do. We want our new members to stay to become senior members. We don't aspire to greater numbers necessarily, but we do aspire to great members. Like I said, Rotary Foundation is the backbone, and we'll be constantly looking for ways of increasing our contribution to the Rotary Foundation. We have a very good record of giving. In fact, Vancouver Island within this district has a very good record of giving, and we'll look to keep that up. And do consider becoming a bequester. You just have to say that you will give $1,000 after you die to Rotary, or you can become I can't remember the name for it, it might be benefactor, where you actually send them a copy of your will, which shows Rotary that you're giving 10 to 20,000, and that's a great way of giving. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing a big chunk after I die. I wish I could tell you exactly what we're going to do next year, but the first job as our club as a newly installed board is to make the plan. We fundraise for it, and then we execute it. And we'll have lots of ideas of what to do that, from hospice to kids to international to community, and that's going to be fun. To plan for that, and that'll be June 27th, Camp Gilwell, 6 p.m. Come by, be a big fire, and we'll literally have a fireside chat of what we can do. And we don't want to wear ourselves out. We don't want to try to be everything to everybody, but we do want to get as much done as we can with what we have. And we got a lot of good ideas out there. And many hands make light work. So I can't keep up with what our own club does, despite it being a fairly small community. And I look forward to being run over next year as well, but run over within reason. So the question I put at the installation dinner was, why do we come and stay Rotarians? Why do we give up our weekends? We give up lots of cash. We spend thousands of dollars per year giving to clubs and projects, the Rotary Foundation. We spend $13 for a breakfast that I would never order otherwise. I came to this club as a 150-pound vegan, and that's changed dramatically. So why do we come for the shiny buttons? No, I don't think we do. And is it all about networking? Well, it's absolutely, might be a side benefit, but usually networking brings you in money, doesn't cost you money in weekends. So it can't be that. Are we making up for past sins in our past life? It doesn't seem to be one of these. In Kenya, under a tree and in churches where we were having our sanitation workshops, I tried to explain through a translator to groups of hundreds of the benefactors of our clean water and fish farming projects who were there for sanitation training, like I said. They had asked among themselves why these white people were helping. There was distrust, not much, but there was some distrust. There was rumors that we were trying to sterilize them, that because we were asking them to bring rocks and sand, we were lining our own pockets with profit by building these springs. They thought maybe we were peddling a religion, or perhaps we had politicians using us. They distrusted each other. They do distrust each other quite a bit, because poverty had forced some of them to do some pretty bad things. So distrust, or at least puzzlement, was in the air. So what I told them, and this is what I'm going to say exactly the way I said it, is that the Rotarians in Canada love you. This is about love. And that kind of sounds a little corny, but when you think about it, it's the only answer I could come up with. We do it because we're full of love. We have gratitude and another word for love is gratitude, and it's best expressed through action. Perhaps it's only expressed through action. Sitting there at a bar stool talking about how much you love your parents or your children doesn't do much. But when you get out there and you do something like skyrocket or sell hot dogs, you're love in action. And it feels so good. I mean, people that haven't tried it don't know what they're missing. It just feels so good. And that's what I told them, and that's what I think to this day. I just can't believe that I sold compost 2 kilometers from here and then was able to take the same money and buy bags of cement that brought clean water to people that hadn't had clean water in generations. And it's just absolutely amazing. It blows my mind. Now, to be honest, this is what I've always wanted to do, and I'm using Rotary to do it. That's been my, so there's no big sacrifice for me. I love doing it, and Rotary just makes it happen for me. And it's a dream come true. I had a tropical fish as a kid, and I looked at the pictures of Africa where the fish came from, and even as a kid I wanted to be dealing with fish in Africa someday, and I never knew that Rotary would be allowing me to do it. So I'm amazed by what Rotary does. The same thing with school desks. Our first day in Kenya this year, Tanya and I met with a small group of 4 Kenyans who had done all the legwork locating the sites for the 50 water sources that needed protection that our club, it was a $50,000 project that our club led. We sat down in this little tin shed they call their office, no furniture other than an old desk and a couple lawn chairs, probably brought in just for us, with a steel filing cabinet and a piece of tin on the door. And the reason they had this little shack was because to be a registered community-based organization, you have to have an office. They never believed me that Rotarians don't have big fancy offices, especially for Rotary. I told them that we met in people's houses and in coffee shops, and I don't think they ever believed me. So anyway, this is what we sat down for the meeting after not seeing each other for 3 years, and I saw a little picture on the wall, and it was a picture of all of you guys bagging Skyrocket in this little shack in a little town in Kenya. And I pointed and laughed at it because I thought I forgot I sent that photo. And the chairman, Jackson, he's a wiry old guy, snappy dresser, wears a bit of a loud tie and dress shoes. And he actually went and took that picture to well over 30 households, all of them only reachable by foot. And he basically showed them that this is where the money comes from. And he says, these Canadians could be spending time with their families. They could be relaxing, but they work for you. Do not let them down. Do not be lazy. And he would give this lecture, and it really did get through. I did try to remind him that I had been talking about love at the workshops, and that we did it out of love. I'm not sure if he completely understood, but it was amazing to see the listeners really understand where this money comes from. It really is people working for them, and they're doing it out of love. It's amazing. Now, before I sign off, I wanted to say a few words about Lynn. She has left the club with extra fundraising options, not to mention she raised a lot of cash. A lot of money went to polio, end polio now. I'm not sure of the figures, but it's in the thousands thanks to Have a Heart. And she's got another event planned for October 5th, Run, Roll, Stroll run event that all 4 clubs will get involved with. And that's probably been the biggest gift, is she's really got the 4 clubs collaborating, which is a big move in Rotary, is to get clubs working together as opposed to having this, because it used to be easy to manage all these clubs because they weren't doing that much, you know, say 20 years ago, for example, internationally. But now so many clubs are doing it, and we can really get the leverage and the economy of scale when the clubs work together. And Lynn really made that happen. We've got a lot of club chemistry going on, and Run, Roll, Stroll is happening to raise money in October 5th, like I said. Not only that, she's got a teen education thing. Teacher strike delayed that to the fall, and that's going to be huge. I think every grade 10 student in the Valley will be receiving education on just the things that get kids into trouble, not necessarily focusing on bullying, a lot of focus on women and just, you know, boys being boys and girls being girls, and just taking the whole creepiness out of it. You know, teaching women to look creepy guys in the eye and not give them any opportunity to let their inner creep out. Very valuable stuff, and hopefully will reduce a lot of the problems we've had in the Valley with teenage suicides and things like this. Yeah, and she's just been really, really nice, hasn't she? Like, just what a loving president for my theme of love going in. I might have a theme of love, but I doubt I'll be quite as gushy as she was. She also didn't require much of me in the last year. I'm not sure if Pippa will have the same experience. But she basically ran 0 to 50 meetings by herself. And Lynn, as I said at the installation, you've been a huge gift to this club, and you've poured your heart into being a president. And we just so much appreciate all your accomplishments and letting us share in with all that. And there'll be a big impact on this community for years to come from your year. So don't think we haven't noticed, and don't think I haven't noticed. So finally, to sum up, thank you, Lynn, for a really amazing year of love and hard work. And now I invite you, Rotarians, and your friends and family that support us so well, can't forget them, to another year of gratitude and love in action. And I hope to see you at the fireside at Camp Gilwell, June 27th, for your ideas of how we can make the coming year, 2012-2013 year, an even better year. Thanks, and see you guys at the next meeting. Bye.